Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to give you a quick breakdown on brake pads and rotors on this Toyota Tundra. I'm going to start here by getting the pins out of the caliper, taking the clips out so I can get those pins out. We're going to end up reusing these on that one, and then we're going to go ahead and push the old pads in a little bit. Just work it back and forth. It just takes a little bit of time and effort. Eventually you can go ahead and slide those pads out. You might be able to get them all the way back in if you use like 2 screwdrivers or maybe like a little pry bar. I have a little tool that I like to use on them. Makes it a little easier, and you can see that tool right here. I'm trying to squeeze it in there, but it's not going to end up working this time, unfortunately. That's okay, we can get it once we get the caliper off here. It just takes me a second to give up. And so I give up here. I go ahead and take the brackets off here for brake hose and the ABS sensor. It's going to take just a minute. You can see it doesn't work with the yellow DeWalt, so I got to bring in the big red Milwaukee, as I like to call it, big red. And once we got those brackets off, we can go ahead and take off the caliper bolts, and then I like to use a caliper hanger here. You can use a wire, a little bit of mechanics wire, like a old wire hanger, and just don't want to leave that hanging from the hose. And once I got that off, a couple taps of the hammer, we got the rotor off. We're going to go ahead and use that same tool I was using before to go ahead and push in the pistons on the caliper now that it's a little easier to get to. It's only going to take a quick second. I like to use a pad or two in here just to press again, so that way you're not damaging the face of the pistons. And just go nice and slow. Make sure your brake hose is pinched. You don't want to keep those from going in. So we'll go ahead and get that. Let's see, sort it out here. There we go, just a little bit more in. Once that's in, we're going to go ahead and dust off our new rotor with some brake clean. Get off all the anti-rust inhibitor. Wipe down, go ahead and put that onto the hub. We're going to put our caliper, take that off the hook, and go ahead and put that back on. A couple of 19mm bolts in the back, or actually I believe for the front it was 21, if I remember correctly. Go ahead and put those bolts back in. I'm going to put those down a little later. And go ahead and put the new brake pads in. Just make sure your pistons are pressed all the way in, otherwise they're not going to fit. You might have to move the rotor around a little bit to kind of squeeze them in there. And once those are in there, I like to put the top pin in first. Make sure you have the hole on the other side going the right way, and make sure your pins are going the right way too. We're going to go ahead and put the spring clips in too. Once I get that first clip on the bottom slid through, we can go ahead and put the clip on the side too to hold that in. And give you a quick show of what that looks like. It's all finished. Just, take pictures if you've never done it before, just to match it up. Now we're going to go ahead and move to the back. Back is just a traditional setup. It doesn't have the Brembo style caliper. It just has a regular style caliper. I like to use a screwdriver to kind of press that in a little bit. Sometimes you press it all the way in. And then you go ahead and take out the 17mm caliper slide pin bolts. You can take out one or both, it doesn't matter. If you take out the bottom one, you can go ahead and slide out the top one from the bracket, and then you go ahead and take out the 19mm bracket bolts. And then again, just a couple whacks of that hammer, and we got that off the parking brake shoes. Go ahead and blow out the rust and dust from the old parking brake shoes, and then we're going to go ahead and transfer over the little rubber boot that goes in there for the parking brake adjuster. Then right here I'm popping out the old clips out of the bracket and popping in the new ones. We've got new hardware. I do recommend always using new hardware. If you get good pads, they should include the hardware with them. That way, that's what your pads are sliding on. And if you're reusing old stuff, at least clean it up really well. Because you want to make sure those pads slide really free. Because the other ones are getting those stuck up. So pop these in. Slide the pads in, brackets off. Some cars, it's easier to get your hands on the car, but dealer's choice. Whatever's easier for you. That bracket on, put in those 19mm bolts again, then pack those down, come back and torque those later. Make sure your brake caliper's all the way pressed in, otherwise you're going to lose your slide. Just make sure you pinch the rubber boots for the slide pads. Slide those in, those down. We're all done.